Have you ever wondered what you would do if a medical emergency struck and no one was around to help? It's a frightening thought, especially as we get older and spend more time by ourselves. We like to believe we'll have a moment to react, or that someone nearby will come to our aid. But the truth is, time is not always on our side. In those first few minutes, your response can mean the difference between recovery and tragedy. Here's the good news. Even if you're alone, you are not helpless. With the right knowledge and mindset, you can take action that protects your life and your future. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 essential steps that every older adult should know if a health crisis, like chest pain or sudden dizziness, strikes when no one else is around. These aren't complicated techniques or medical tricks. They're simple, practical actions you can take with no training and no special tools, just your own awareness and calm. We'll show you how to recognize the subtle signals your body gives, how to respond when time is critical, and how to prepare your space so that help can reach you faster. Each step may seem small on its own, but together they form a lifeline. So stay with us until the end, because the final tips are the ones most people never think about, but they could very well save your life. Now let's begin. Step 1. Listening to the gentle warnings. The body has a remarkable way of speaking to us, quietly at first, but too often we're trained to ignore it, especially those of us who've learned to push through the discomfort. But when it comes to serious health issues like heart trouble, ignoring the whispers can cost us dearly. What do these whispers sound like? Sometimes it's a heavy pressure in the chest, not necessarily pain, but a deep, odd tightness, as if someone placed a sandbag right over your heart. Other times, it's something more subtle, a wave of fatigue that feels out of place, shortness of breath while simply sitting, or a cold sweat with no explanation. You might feel a strange ache in your jaw, shoulder, or back. It could be nausea, lightheadedness, or the sudden feeling that something just isn't right. These early signs don't always scream. In fact, they rarely do. For older adults, especially women, the symptoms might appear far from the chest. Mild indigestion, a bit of arm soreness, a whisper in the gut that something's off. These aren't scenes from a movie. They're the reality of how our bodies signal distress as we age. Let me share the story of Eleanor, age 76. One morning, she felt a dull pressure behind her sternum. It wasn't painful, just strange. She figured it was gas and continued folding laundry. But when she noticed her breathing felt shallow and her palms were damp, she paused. She remembered something she'd heard at her senior center. Don't wait for it to get worse. Trust the first sign. She sat down, breathed deeply, and called for help. Doctors later told her she'd acted just in time. The truth is, the body speaks softly before it screams. And our job, especially with the wisdom of age, is to listen early. If you feel a sudden shift that doesn't make sense, don't brush it off. Don't rationalize it away. That little voice inside that says, "This feels different," that's not fear, that's awareness. Trust it. Step 2, making the call without delay. Once your body signals that something is wrong, your next move is critical. Make the call. Don't hesitate. Don't second guess. Don't try to tough it out. Just pick up the phone and dial emergency services. This might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people, especially older adults, wait it out. They tell themselves, maybe it'll pass, or I don't want to cause a fuss. But emergencies don't wait for convenience. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes for professionals to intervene in time. You don't need to be sure you're having a heart attack, a stroke, or something life-threatening. You just need to act on what your body's telling you. It's better to be wrong and safe than right and silent. Emergency responders are trained for exactly this. They'd rather show up and find you okay than arrive too late. Think of Harold, 81. One evening, he felt a strange flutter in his chest and a wave of heat across his back. He almost called his daughter, but something inside him said, "No, call 911 first." That call may have saved his life. Paramedics arrived within minutes and found that Harold was in the early stages of cardiac distress. Because he acted quickly, he avoided permanent damage to his heart. And here's something practical. Keep your phone nearby at all times, within reach from your favorite chair, your bed, even the kitchen. If possible, Program an emergency shortcut into your device. Many smartphones allow you to make a call even when the screen is locked. Practice using it. Teach your fingers what to do before your mind has time to panic. This step is about deciding your life is worth the effort, that your well-being is not a burden, not a nuisance, not a false alarm. So when the moment comes, don't pause. Don't overthink. Just call. Step 3. Taking one small pill that buys big time. So you've made the call. Help is on its way. Now what? There's one small act that could make a world of difference before the ambulance even arrives. Chew an aspirin. Not swallow. Chew. Slowly, calmly. Even if your hands are trembling. Why chew? Because chewing breaks the pill down faster. It gets into your bloodstream more quickly, helping to thin your blood and reduce the size of any clot that might be forming. And in the case of a heart attack, time isn't just money, it's muscle. Every minute you buy back could save precious heart tissue and improve your chances of walking away stronger. Here's the key. It needs to be plain aspirin, not coated, not time release, and not part of a combo medicine. If you're not allergic and you're not on blood thinners that your doctor warned you about, take a regular strength 325 milligram tablet. Chew it thoroughly, even if the taste isn't pleasant. In that moment, it's not about comfort, it's about life. Let's talk about Alma. 79. She kept a tiny pill case in her kitchen drawer, right next to the tea bags. She'd heard somewhere that aspirin could help in a crisis, and she made a habit of replacing the bottle every year, just in case. One morning, she felt a deep tightness in her upper chest. Not sharp, just wrong. Her hands were shaking, but she remembered the plan. She dialed 911. She chewed her aspirin. She sat down. When the paramedics arrived, they told her that early action likely prevented far worse damage. It's such a small thing, just one pill. But it's not about the size. It's about being ready. Keep aspirin in easy-to-reach places. Your nightstand, your handbag, your kitchen drawer. Tell loved ones where to find it. Make it part of your quiet preparation. Not out of fear, but out of love for life. Remember, in a moment when you might feel helpless, this is a powerful way to say, I'm doing my part. And that small action can speak volumes. Step 4. Sit still, stay safe. Now that you've called for help and taken aspirin, your next move might feel counterintuitive. Do nothing. That's right. Just be still. In emergencies, our instincts often betray us. We feel a sense of urgency to prepare, to tidy up, to make ourselves presentable before help arrives. But when your heart is under stress, even the smallest effort, walking to another room, picking up the phone charger, unlocking the door, can strain it further. What you need most in this moment isn't motion, it's rest. Find the nearest seat or bed. Sit down with your back supported and your feet flat on the ground. Let your arms rest loosely by your sides. If you feel faint, lie down gently on your side and keep your head slightly elevated. And most importantly, breathe slowly, deeply, purposefully. Take the story of Geraldine, age 82. When she felt chest discomfort and lightheadedness, her first reaction was to clean the living room, just in case someone had to come over. But halfway to the kitchen, her knees weakened. She remembered a talk her doctor gave years ago. If your heart is in trouble, the best gift you can give it is stillness. She sat down, let her body relax, and waited for help. That simple decision may have saved her from collapse. Here's a helpful tip. If you live alone, make a habit of identifying 2 or 3 safe resting spots in your home. Places that are easy to reach and easy for paramedics to access. A chair by the front window, a couch near the door, a recliner in your main room. Familiarity in moments of panic can be grounding. Staying still isn't giving up. It's giving your heart a chance to beat slower, to conserve oxygen, to avoid tipping into a worse state. In moments like these, doing less isn't weakness, it's wisdom, and that's what we're here to honor. Step 5. Make way for the helpers. You've done the most important things, called for help, taken aspirin, and settled down safely. But there's one more action that might feel small, yet could save precious minutes. Unlock the door. In a moment of crisis, every second matters. Emergency responders can and will break in if needed, but doing so takes time. It creates chaos. It might even startle you or delay treatment when you're at your most vulnerable. So if you're still steady on your feet and can move without straining yourself, quietly walk to the door and unlock it. If you live in an apartment or gated community, this becomes even more crucial. Is your address clearly visible? Is there a buzzer code someone would need? Are you behind multiple locks or security doors? Think of these things ahead of time. Preparation can't erase emergencies, but it can soften them. Let's revisit an example. Clarence, 80, lived in a quiet retirement condo. When he began to feel a strange pressure in his chest and down his left arm, he followed the steps. He called for help, took aspirin, sat down. But then something nudged him. He reached out, unlatched the front door, and left it slightly ajar. The EMTs reached him quickly and without struggle. One of them later said, "That door being open probably bought you 30 seconds of uninterrupted care. That's not nothing." And if walking is too risky, don't do it. Your safety comes first. But if you're close and feel capable, unlocking the door is one final act of readiness that says, "Come in, I'm here. I've done what I can. Now it's your turn." You can also prepare in advance by installing a smart lock with remote access or placing a spare key in a medical lockbox near your entrance. These little decisions, made on calm days, have a big voice on stormy ones. Step 6, let your phone speak for you. In a medical emergency, your phone becomes more than a device. It becomes your voice, your bridge to help, and sometimes your lifeline. Knowing how to use it wisely when you're alone can save precious time and confusion. Once you've called for help, switch your phone to speaker mode. This frees your hands, reduces strain on your breathing, and lets emergency dispatchers hear more than just your words. They can listen for changes in your breathing, tone, or background sounds. And if your voice fades or you drop the phone, they may still gather valuable information. But there's another feature too few of us take advantage of: your emergency medical ID. Most smartphones today allow you to store crucial information, your age, allergies, medications, and emergency contacts that can be accessed even when your phone is locked. If you ever become unconscious or too weak to speak, this little file can speak for you. Take Nora, age 77. She'd set up her medical ID years ago at her daughter's urging. One afternoon, she fainted in her living room during a blood pressure spike. When the responders arrived, they checked her phone, found her medical details immediately, and adjusted their treatment accordingly. They even called her daughter before leaving the house. Nora later said, "I never thought I'd need that feature, but I'm so glad it was there." It takes less than 5 minutes to set up, and once it's done, it stays there, waiting quietly until it might be the one thing standing between confusion and clarity. Here's a gentle suggestion. Tonight, or sometime this week, take a moment to explore your phone's emergency settings. Input your details. Choose someone close to you as a contact. You're not doing it because you expect something to go wrong. You're doing it because wisdom says to be ready. When you can't speak for yourself, let your phone speak clearly, calmly, and wisely on your behalf. Step 7. Breathe like your life depends on it, because it might. In the heart of a crisis, when fear creeps in and thoughts spiral, there's one tool you still have complete control over: your breath. It may seem simple, but in those crucial minutes before help arrives, how you breathe can determine how well your heart holds on. Fear causes shallow, rapid breathing, and that sends a message to your heart to speed up, to strain harder. But when you breathe slowly and intentionally, you signal your body to calm down. You create a rhythm that slows your heart, conserves oxygen, and stabilizes your nervous system. It's not about mastering some complex technique. Just follow this pattern. Breathe in gently through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it for 1 moment. Then exhale softly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat. That's it. Simple, grounding, and profoundly effective. I'll share the story of Lionel, 85, who practiced breathing exercises each morning as part of his routine. One afternoon, he felt dizzy, his chest tightened, and the world felt heavy. He sat down and remembered his breath. Inhale, hold, exhale. Slowly, the panic receded. His heart steadied. By the time paramedics arrived, Lionel was coherent, aware, and safe. His breathing, he later told his doctor, was my rope to hold on to. You can begin practicing this today, even when nothing's wrong. Make it a part of your rest, your walks, your quiet moments, so that if the time ever comes, your body remembers it without needing to think. Because sometimes the greatest strength in a moment of weakness isn't willpower. It's breath, it's calm, it's knowing that staying still, breathing slow, and trusting help is on the way can carry you across those uncertain minutes. Here is the final thoughts and outro, crafted to tie the message together with heartfelt encouragement, perfect for the elder wisdom niche and designed for a smooth 2-minute voiceover conclusion. Final thoughts. When you're alone, you're still not powerless. Surviving a health crisis alone isn't about luck. It's about preparation, awareness, and quiet courage. The kind of courage that doesn't shout or rush, but listens, acts wisely, and honors life, even in its most vulnerable moments. Let's recap the 7 steps we've walked through today. Listen to the subtle warnings your body gives. Call for help without hesitation. Chew an aspirin if it's safe for you. Sit still and conserve your strength. Unlock the door so help can reach you fast. Let your phone speak for you. Breathe with purpose and calm your heart. None of these steps require youth or speed or strength. They require wisdom, the kind that grows through time, through experience, through choosing to be present even when fear wants to take over. You may live alone. You may feel vulnerable at times, but you are never truly powerless. Not with your breath, not with your mind, and not with the preparation you've now taken the time to learn. So ask yourself, which step stood out to you most? Which one made you pause and think, I should really put that in place? Don't let this just be something you heard once. Let it be something you pass on to a neighbor, a sibling, a friend. Because wisdom is meant to be shared, and sharing it could save a life, maybe even yours. If you found value in this video, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below with one thing you're going to do differently. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to join this growing circle of wise, caring people who believe in living life with intention. Thank you for being here. Stay safe, stay prepared, and above all, stay alive.